This is an example for a head grouping project for one larger patch and one smaller patch. Each one of the patches will have individual names. We will distribute the larger patches by groups of 2 on each of the 8 heads, and the smaller patches in groups of 6 on 3 of the embroidery heads. We will start by launching the head grouping project. We choose the machine available, in this case a TMAR-KC, choose the number of heads, which will be 8, the frame drive S, and we would like to control the individual heads. The size of the area is 330 times 450. We will start by loading a new file, in this case the larger patch. Once we chose it, it's being launched, and we edit it in the head group 1 tab, as you can see here. We'll drag a guideline to see the top limit of the frame. Then I will select all of the segments of large patch and move the position towards the top right side of the embroidery area. I'll also use a guideline and select all again and duplicate the larger patch and move a duplicate on the left side of it. So I have 2 patches aligned properly there. Next thing I'll do is I will select the text segments, which are going to be the individual names, and I will Control X, I will cut them out, keep them in the clipboard, and let's also remove the unused threads. Once this is done, I Control S, I save it and close the tab. We see when I click on each one of the heads, the 8 heads, we will have these 2 large emblems aligned on the top of the frame. We will start a new cycle. This will create a new cycle, cycle number 2. We will now switch on head number 1 activated and edit head number 1, and this will launch a new tab. With Control V, we paste the 2 text segments that we had cut before, and they should be in the exact position. So this will allow me now to select the first one. This is a name that will stay. The second text segment, I will change the name to the respective intended name. In this case, MacGregor. Press enter and we'll see it made a change. With Control S, we save and we can close the tab. This will refresh the head grouping projects page. You see, once it's refreshed, we have the 2 names for the first head embroidered within the patches. We'll start a new cycle. This will be cycle number 3. We will activate embroidery head area number 2, and we will edit that. This launches a new tab. With Control V, we paste the 2 text segments again, and the whole purpose of this is they are in the exact position within the patch. So we will select first text segment and change the name to the intended name. We press enter and the change is done. And then we go ahead with the second text segment, changing the name there as well. And we Control S, we can save our changes and close the tab. This will refresh the head grouping view, and we can see it's refreshed there. So it's a good idea to save our project regularly. We'll save it, and there was a file there already, so we'll replace that one, the new one. You can see now we have two of the embroidery heads already with the text in the patches. We create a new cycle, cycle number 4, with Control V. We paste with two text segments again, and we do the whole process again. So we will do this process with all other heads. So I fast forward it, come to the last head, number 8, change the first text segment, a name for it, and the second one. Control S to save it, and we are done with the large patches. Now we will add the second patch, which is these are the smaller patches. So we'll create. We'll not create. What we need to do here is we need to know where to position them. That's why I'm going to take cycle number 1, edit that, because this is the location of the two larger patches. Now what we want to do is we want to maybe add a guideline below the limit. Then we select both of these two large patches, and with Control Copy, we copy both of them into the clipboard. Once that is done, we can close that cycle, a tab. So now we will scroll down, all the way down, and we proceed with adding a new cycle. We're now going to create the smaller patches. We will do the first group on head number 1. We edit, hit the edit button, we have a new tab there, and with Control V, we will insert the two large patches. You can see them on the screen. That's the position. The purpose for this is I want to know where to position the smaller ones. So I drag the guideline down there. Once that is done, I can get rid of the two large patches. I delete them. So now we will use a function in menu file called merge. And with merge, we are going to go and look for the smaller patch. There it is. So when we use merge, we can see a preview of the transformation box. And now I can very nicely position the patch on the available area. And I select that patch, and I will make a duplicate or duplicates with Control D. So we position 2 more on the left side of the one that we copied. So we have a nice distribution there. next thing we'll do, we'll make a group of 6 patches. So I will select those 3 patches, and again with Control D, we'll make a duplicate and place 3 additional patches below. Now, the patches, they have variable names, text segments within the patches. We need to keep them empty. That's why I'm going to select from all the patches the text segments. Select the first one. They are all in the pink color area. Then with Control and click, I'm selecting all of the text segments from all 6 patches. All right, there we are. Once this is done, with Control X, I'm going to cut all of them out of the emblems. They're in the clipboard now. And with Control S, we save the patches. So you see, the patches will be embroidered, the 6 patches will be embroidered on head number 1, and they are empty. Now I switch on head number 2 and 3 as well. Now we have a total of 18 empty patches on those 3 heads. I will add now a cycle, because we need now to add individual names to the patches. And we'll do the first head number 1. We have a new tab. With Control V, we paste all of the 6 text segments into my empty page. So now we go ahead and change the names of each one of the text segments. And mind you, the position of the text segments will be precisely in the foreseen area for that patch. That's why I cut them out from the patches, as you have seen earlier. We go ahead with changing all the names. The last one, we have all 6 now intended names. With Control S, we save it, and we can close the tab. And as you can see, the view is going to be refreshed. We have now on head number 1 all 6 names embroidered, stitched into the 6 patches. Now we will add a new cycle. We will switch on head number 2, and we will work on the next group of 6 patches. When the page opens up, we can press Control V to paste the text segments, 6 text segments again, into my page. And we will proceed with changing each one of the names, as we have done before. That's the 3rd one. All right, so we're coming to the 6th one. Change that name as well, and with Control S, once we're done, we save it and we can close the tab. This should refresh my view, and as you can see, head number 2 is embroidering 6 names into the patches as well. Now we go and make the last one. We add a new cycle. We will activate head number 3, and we will proceed with Control V. We paste the 6 names again and we proceed with changing those names as well. All right, we come to the fourth one, fourth name. The names will be fitting exactly into the space because I used, when I created the template, I used the text segment to fit into a box and to center it. So it will also, if a name is large, it will compress it. You can see once this is done, we have head number 3 embroidering the 6 names into the 6 patches. This has been a good example working with the head grouping option on a project with different patches with variable names.